Hi there, good morning. Glad to have you here with us on Up with KREM on this Thursday. I'm Tim Pham. Well, the walk to your car or the drive to work this morning might be a little bit slick. So let's get right to meteorologist Jeremy Legoo tracking today's forecast. And yeah, Jeremy, also a little bit foggy this morning as well.
Yeah, it's a little bit of everything that makes your morning commute just a little slower without actually getting any precipitation. So let's get you out the door with what to expect. We do have some of that patchy fog, and you can see it there in downtown. And just as Tim mentioned, it is also a bit slick out there. Basically what happens is yesterday's moisture still kind of hanging out on the ground in a lot of areas, and overnight temperatures fell, and we fell down below or to freezing. So for that reason, things slicked up, and it is quite slick not just here, but across much of the inland northwest. And you combine that with some patchy fog, and things are moving slow. Coeur d'Alene, visibility about a half mile. Sandpoint, about 3/4 of a mile. Out in Airway Heights, we're seeing visibility drop, and over in Wenatchee, and as you head up Snoqualmie Pass, low visibility there. Would not be shocked if some of this got a bit thicker even as the morning went on. But notice those temps, just about everybody down at or below freezing this morning. It is going to be slick, no matter where you are. No matter what kind of moisture you saw yesterday, it is going to be a slick one this morning as everything refroze during the day. Now we've gotten rid of a bunch of those showers. Still expecting a bit of freezing rain out near Wenatchee and Moses Lake, and that is including Interstate 90. So just know that's a possibility as we move through parts of the day. But here we go. As we put things in motion, you can see that moisture off to our west. It just kind of falls apart as it slowly tracks its way toward us, moving into the middle of the state and losing a lot of what it has just because of that rain shadow. By the time it makes it here, maybe a sprinkle is about it later on this afternoon. Overnight, we'll see a little bit of cloud cover, and that's about it. Eventually, this all works its way out, and we work our way into our dry pattern that we take into the weekend. Temperatures on the rise. We go from near 32 degrees today to the upper 30s later on this afternoon. We are once again in those weather patterns where we're talking warm weather and dry conditions. You might even see a little bit of sun later today.
Well, with the surge in COVID-19 cases due to the Omicron variant, the Spokane Regional Health District is changing its COVID guidelines for larger school events. SRHD recommends school districts cancel or postpone large events until case rates level off. They say at least until mid to late February. So that recommendation fits into the current modeling trend, which predicts a steep decline in cases. Now, the reason for aiming these guidelines towards schools is because of the potential for a COVID surge within a single district or community.
Some of the modeling says Eastern Washington peaks about February the 1st, and then we go on a downward trend 14th and beyond. I want to caution everyone, modeling is really good, but it's based on currently available data, and the data can change based on what the virus does.
Several schools in our area are already planning to follow the recommendations by postponing their rivalry basketball games, including the Lewis and Clark and Ferris High School game, as well as the game between Central Valley High School and University High School. In North Idaho, the Panhandle Health District is also warning about a sharp increase in daily COVID cases. The district says that the Omicron variant is spreading at a much faster rate in North Idaho. Today, Panhandle Health reported 220 new cases and 96 people hospitalized. Monday and Friday's cases jumped into the 200s, and they say community spread is likely much higher due to non-reporting and a shortage of tests. And because we are seeing a record number of cases, we wanted to learn more about when someone becomes contagious when infected with Omicron. Early data suggests that people could become contagious sooner than with previous variants, possibly within a day after infection. The CDC says that people infected with COVID are more contagious a few days before and after symptoms develop, but that window could be earlier. COVID-19 vaccines in schools aren't coming anytime soon, but they could be on the way. The Washington State Board of Health met yesterday to discuss a variety of topics, including a proposal to add the COVID-19 vaccine to a list of immunizations required for children to attend school and daycare. Board members say they are nowhere near a vote and are seeking guidance from a technical advisory group, which will carefully look at the data to develop a recommendation.
We look at the data before we make a decision, and we don't have that data yet. And there's no decision to be made today or in the immediate future on, adding a COVID vaccine to the school entry requirements.
Board members say in the past, advisory groups have recommended not adding certain vaccines to the list of requirements. Right now, school children in Washington must have 11 shots, including measles and chickenpox, to attend school unless they receive an exemption. Now to some of the other big stories we're following this morning. Last month, a jury convicted a Cheney man of killing his wife by poisoning her ice cream. A judge sentenced him to 25 years behind bars. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley was in the courtroom.
Last month, a Spokane County jury convicted David Pettis of first-degree murder. He killed his wife Peggy in 2018 by lacing her ice cream with a lethal amount of prescription drugs. In his sentence hearing, Peggy's family asked the judge to give Pettis life in prison. The judge sentenced him to 25 years. Now, Peggy's family shared in court how greatly they're going to miss her and how Pettis's actions have changed their lives forever.
As her sisters, our grief over the death of Peggy will always be with us. Peggy's life had value and meaning, and we will always miss her.
Pettis's daughter spoke on his behalf, insisting he is innocent and that he is not capable of murdering her mother. Now, Peggy's family told me after the hearing they are relieved by the judge's sentence and can now move forward and begin to heal. Reporting from the Spokane County Courthouse, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
Happening today in Olympia, a family whose son died at a WSU fraternity pledge event will push lawmakers for stricter laws. Sam's Law would make hazing a felony and require colleges to be more transparent about alcohol and sexual assault related incidents. It's named after Sam Martinez. The 19-year-old died of alcohol poisoning at a Washington State University fraternity in 2019. It would also increase education and training to prevent hazing. The director of the Washington Department of Fish and Wildlife is accused of poaching in Ferry County. The Washington Wildlife First Advocacy Groups sent recently unveiled court documents to KREM 2. Director Brock Honez is charged with second-degree unlawful hunting of big game. If convicted, he could face a maximum of 1 year in jail, a $5,000 fine, or both. And star Gonzaga Bulldog center Chet Holmgren signed a card trading deal with the Topps Company. Holmgren's deal is the biggest name, image, likeness investment the company has made with a college athlete. The partnership includes the release of a 2022 limited edition trading card with profits going towards the nonprofit Can Do Cannies. A homeless camp located just off of I-90 has been given 48 hours to move out. That camp is located on the north side of the freeway near the Freya exit. The land is owned by the DOT, and WashDOT says there's been increasing safety concerns at the camp impacting nearby homes and businesses. Homelessness advocates Jules Helping Hands posted on social media they are not moving the camp in spite of the notice to vacate. The notice says all items on the site must be removed by Friday afternoon. Well, the city says their city temporary warming shelter closed on January 9th after being open at the Spokane Convention Center for 2 weeks. Spokane Mayor Nadine Woodward says they are still looking for a new location for that temporary shelter. Ian Smay has more on what the city plans to do.
Mayor Nadine Woodward spoke for about an hour about the temporary warming center that was run out of the Spokane Convention Center for 2 weeks. That came amid freezing temperatures and last week's snowstorm. She talked about a number of topics, including the damage done to the convention center. Woodward said an estimated $90,000 of damage was done to things such as carpeting, chairs, outlets, and bathrooms. That's why she said the Public Facilities District needed the city to shut down the shelter despite frigid temperatures Sunday night. She says the city needed time to make repairs before events are scheduled at the center.
No, we are actively looking for another temporary shelter. We had to close that. We had no choice. So that work continues.
She also said the city has received heavy pushback from every neighborhood where the city has explored putting a new temporary shelter. The city council has a special meeting scheduled for later today. The council drafted a letter to officially send to Woodward urging action when it comes to shelter space. The council will vote later today on whether to officially send that letter. Reporting in downtown Spokane, Ian Smay, KREM 2 News.